Hello again, and welcome to part 3 of my Dad's Cells guide, and today we're going to be focusing on level 3, the Ramparts. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. This is, as the name implies, that all set on the ramparts of a castle, and is basically, most of the level is either similar to the Promenade of the Condemned. It's either set above or below ground, and on the bits above you can, if you have a weapon called the Wave of Denial, which is kind of like an energy burst, which I haven't picked up yet, but you can get later on. It makes it much easier because you can just knock enemies off the edge. But unfortunately I don't have that yet, so I'm still sticking to the base weapons I have from the previous level. Okay, so here, first up, we have an elite room, which if you know from the previous videos, it means you're going to have a high level enemy to fight. Okay, so what did we get? Okay, so this unlocks the custom mode, which is basically a different mode you can select from the title screen, and that is different to normal mode, which is what I'm playing now, because in custom mode what you can do then is play the game entirely to your own customs and change everything from number of kind of weapons you're going to get, the difficulty of the enemies, how many health potions you can set up, but you can change it all to your heart's desire basically, and you can customize to play through the game in any way you like. But that's not the base game, that's kind of like an edited version, so I'm just sticking to the normal mode for now. So you can see an example of knocking someone off the edge. As I said, there's a weapon called the Wave of Denial, which you can get later on, which makes that much easier. Now these guys, I don't know their actual name, but I just always call them Purple Bishops, are some of the most annoying enemies in the game because they can fire these little bursts of energy at you, and they can fire it through walls, so they can be a real pain to deal with. You just have to keep an eye on them like all the time. Okay. Oh shit. Keep forgetting I don't have the spider rune. Makes it so much more difficult. As I said before, it's really difficult when you go back to the beginning and you don't have the runes and the power-ups you're used to having. Even though this level is technically way easier than what I've been used to playing, it feels harder because, like I say, the rhythm feels wrong. You just feel out of sync. So this can be pretty spaced out, this level, in terms of enemies. You can go through periods where there's lots, and then it's go through periods where there's just a few. Okay, so that's a scroll there to pick up. And ideally what you want to do through the level is still, as much as you can, focus on knocking enemies off the edge. Okay, I'm going to keep this in tactics. Okay, so we face these little birds now, and there's another rune power-up you can get later, which makes these a lot easier. When, even though it might sound weird, you can detach your head, and then sort of, it's really difficult to explain unless you have it, because it's It sounds a lot stranger than it is. You can detach your head and move it down to levels below you and attack enemies, and then sort of lure them out. But in this case, you just have to kind of go for it. The other strange thing about playing it on this lower level again is that on the high levels, enemies can teleport, so you have to be kind of on your guard the whole time. Okay, so this Black Bridge is the exit to the boss fight. Obviously you could do that now, but having not fully explored the level, I want to do that first. But at least I've opened up the teleport, so I can come back there whenever I'm ready. So if I'm going to go back here, carry on looking around. I mean, as I said before, with the fact that it's all randomly generated, you just don't know what you're going to get. So you can have levels that are actually where there's loads of pickups, and levels where there's hardly anything. Okay, I'm going to try and tease these guys out. That's something else you can do, by the way, is drop grenades down the shaft. Wait for this guy to turn around. Okay, so that's my 30 kills, but on the high levels, as I've said, you need 6 there to get the bonus. Okay, so these are all the boss doors again, which you can't open without the boss cells, which you can't get until you complete the game at least once. Ah, okay, finally. So this is something, this is one of my favoured pickup weapons, the sinew slicer. I much prefer this over things like grenades, because you can just drop it on the floor and then just run around while it kills everyone, so it's much better than having to individually throw stuff. But I will keep the infantry grenade for now. Oh yeah, can't use that still. Keep on forgetting, man. Okay, where are we at? So, I have to go all the way back to the top now, which is a pain in the ass. Again, sometimes you get loads of teleporters. Sometimes you hardly get any. Wait, is that the... Oh yeah. That's the challenge rift, which I'm not going to bother with for now, just because chances are you'll get hit and then you'll lose your bonus for number of kills untouched. Yeah, so as I can say, it's going to be a bit of a chore coming all the way back up sometimes. So I'm just going to show you... Ooh, nice. Get a chance to show you the sinew slicer in full effect. And it's one of those weapons, it's great because you can just drop it down a chain to do the work for you, and you can basically stand above and watch the carnage. Okay, I can't go down there. There's just like a little bonus room You can knock on a guy's door and sometimes he'll give you food. Sometimes you have to hassle him a bit. Yeah, not always, but he's always worth knocking on that door because sometimes he'll give you a turkey. Okay, so that's as you can see, the sinew slicer is a great weapon to sort of drop below you or drop above you, which I'm going to do in this case. Then you can just sit there and just let it kill, and you can just stand there and wait. And that's why I focus on the tactics build, because you know, you can just stay out of the way. Let's see. The other good thing is it serves as a decoy for enemies. They will go and attack your turret before they attack you. Okay, what's that? Ice shield. That's like a sort of it's like a suit of armor that can take one hit. So it's not bad, but I tend not to use it too much. Okay, so this is going to open the door above. If you ever see a locked door like that, it means you have to go and find a button to open it first. Okay, nothing else down there. Okay, use that as a health boost for now. Okay, so this up here is a very powerful weapon that's being blocked. It means you can't pick it up until you've killed all the enemies who are connected to it. So you can see this guy, the shield above his head, the shield icon means that he's held protecting that weapon, so you can't see what it is or know what it is or pick it up until you've killed any enemies that are connected to it. As you can see, it's like a golden shaft of light connecting him. But these things are always some of the most powerful weapons in the game, so definitely worth picking up. As you can see, the sinew slicer has really good range too, and that also is my 60 kill bonus, so that's doubly good. Oof. Prime example there of why I hate those guys. So let's go and see what we got. So this is an electric whip, which I don't care for, even though it's a very powerful weapon. It's just not something that I really like using that much, but I'm going to pick it up for now. And because it's golden, that means it says it's colourless. That's the highest level in the game. So even though it's only at level 4, because it's colourless, it's still very powerful. So I'm going to go ahead and pick that up instead of... Should I keep the Frost Blast? So you can see it's like an, you know, well, as it implies, an electric whip. It's not something I normally pick up, but I can say it's pretty good. Did I miss anything down? Yeah, so it's not bad. So sometimes it's worth picking up weapons you don't normally pick up if they're the colourless version. As I say, they are very powerful, so the fact that it's colourless kind of negates any kind of awkwardness you might feel with using that weapon. Okay, so now we're back at the shop, and the things to we can buy here. There's a wolf trap, which is a trap you throw on the ground and it keeps enemies still while you attack them. That's pretty good. That's especially good on some of the boss fights. Sinew Slicer I already have, and a tonic, which boosts your health for a short period, but then you lose it again afterwards. So it's a bit of a waste of time, don't bother with that. But for the time being, I will pick up the wolf trap, because that'll be good for the boss fight that's coming up. And this is actually quite a long level, but there's not that much in it. So I'll show you here, look. Oops. So you can see he gets trapped, he can't move, but I forgot he can still shoot at you, so that's my bad. And obviously using the wolf trap and the sinew slicer in harmony can be very useful as well. Demonstrate now. Even though I forgot again. Keeps you on your toes. But the wolf trap is especially good if you get like jumped, basically, where someone comes running at you and you throw it on the ground like that and it stops them for a second. So if you get ambushed, it's good, especially as there's two. Okay, is that the end of the level? Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, so I'd say it's quite a long, well, it's not long, but it's, you have to do a lot of trekking and there's actually not much in here. As you can see, it's a pretty sort of sparse and empty level, only a few enemies, not a lot of pickups. It's just one of those ones to get through, really. It's not very exciting. Yeah, so I don't think I've missed anything. There's nowhere else I can go now without the runes. So I'm just gonna go to the end of the level. And I'll just show you what the bonus is. Because I got the 60 kills, you can see there. So it's the normal jewels, blue orbs, and then weapon of your choice. Ooh, so yeah, I'll get that. Even though I've got a wolf trap, it's only level 5. This is a level 6 plus. So if you just compare, the new one will do 180 damage per second, whereas the one I've got only does 131. And then it's got the bonus damage of 129% over 66%. And another 15% damage. I mean, the one I've already got does cover the ground with oil that burns when destroyed. That can be pretty useful, but just for the DPS, it's better to get this one. Okay, so that's that, and now we're going to see what we can get from the collector. What do we need? I'll get recycling. And that means that any weapons now you find that you don't want, you can recycle into gold. That's always useful. And don't really care for any of these, so I'll choose it for the gold reserves. Which means you can now pick up more gold. And in terms of mutations, because I'm going to a boss fight, I want specific boss mutations. So the one time if you die, you need that. That's useful to have for boss fights, of course. What else? The necromancy, that's still pretty good. And I will get the support because it just gives you high level damage. Yeah, so those are my 3 mutations. Don't need to fill up, do I? Oh yeah, just restore my HP. And now onto the boss fight, so I'm going to pause there and do the boss fight individually on the next video. Okay, take care and I'll see you soon.